was said to have been assaulted, and they were demanding that some people, be brought to face the law and in that regard. But that takes us to look at what elections brings, or what comes out during elections. There was going to be an election in Imo State. The NLC president was there, according to the NLC, on official assignment to see that the state government betters the lot of the workers in that state. And then it turns out people say, oh, he was partisan. He went there to, play politics because he had an interest in the election and all. But they say, look, the NLC president had informed the police and all of those people in the state, the police, the DSS, and the likes. It seems like I'm having a feedback. Terrible one here. But then, if you understand the situation, these are the off-season elections. There were elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi State, right? And all of those elections were somewhat saw some levels of violence, either pre the election or during the elections or after the elections. What are your thoughts on the way that we perceive politics and our democracy in this country?
Good morning, Mr. Prince, and thank you for having me on your show this morning.
Really appreciate it.
First of all, let me start by saying that what we had during this off-season election is unfortunate and it's pathetic. It also goes to show the levels of growth of our democracy as a people and how we have also grown as a people. It simply means that we are retrogressing, and Nigeria as a country is not progressing in any facet and in any way. The elections in Imo, Kogi, and Bayelsa over the weekend was a complete and total sham. And it goes again to show the failures of INEC and its inability to conduct free, fair, and credible elections in the country. It's an unfortunate situation, and some of us are saddened by this reality, because what hope does the average Nigerian have in our electoral process? Yes, they have seen that situation, but they are currently investigating it. INEC also said that they have cancelled a few polling units and wards and even local governments in the elections, only for INEC to still go back to declare a governor-elect in Kogi State. Come on, these levels of inconsistency is a problem. Then we also saw in Imo State where the Labour Party agent was beaten and thrown out of the collation center. It doesn't make any sense. At what level are we at this point? What trust and confidence does the average Nigerian have in INEC or on INEC? It tells you that when it comes to elections in Nigeria, I was telling someone over the weekend and I said, see, Nigeria should stop wasting money on elections, because it's currently now a waste of funds, a waste of taxpayers' money conducting elections in this country, because the election is not a reflection of the will of the people. Elections in Nigeria is who risks more and who is not violent. Who is more violent, who has state facilities, wins the election in the country, which doesn't make any sense. And it's an unfortunate and a pathetic situation for us as a people. Then going down to Joe Ajero's assault and humiliation that was meted on him in Imo State, it's a very unfortunate situation. Very, very unfortunate situation. And I listened to a lot of opinions of persons saying that the strike by NLC was unnecessary, that they couldn't have gone on strike because just the president was humiliated. Let me say this: the president of every organization is the symbol of and the face of the organization. If you are going to harass the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, if you're going to brutalize the president of Nigerian Labour Congress, it simply means that you're brutalizing Nigerian workers. And the NLC had every right to embark on that particular strike. They had every right to embark on the strike. And for me, I supported the strike 100%. It affected me yesterday because I had a court matter, but the matter could not hold because of the strike. But trust me, I was pleased with the fact that they went on strike. and how to address these issues, because you cannot wake up. We are fought against police. We are still fighting against police brutality against an NLC president. If the NLC president can be beaten and humiliated and nothing is done, then what happens to the average man or the average worker on the street? It simply means that anybody can give orders to the police, and the police, without even thinking, will go ahead to brutalize the person. So some of these things should be nipped on the bud. See, it's like we are running a banana republic, controlled by politicians whose whims and caprices we are now subject to. So they do whatever they like and they get away with it. Nobody is punished for anything. Else, the police officers who actually carried out that brutalization against the NSC president are supposed to be brought to book. Not just be brought, they are supposed to be disciplined. But nobody is disciplining anybody in the country. It is Nigeria, anything goes. And that is what you see, indiscipline across the country. You see people do things and get away with it. Nobody is held accountable, and they tell you, "Oh, we have transferred the commissioner of police from Imo State to some other state." Is that enough punishment for somebody who gives such an order? Is that enough punishment? What happens to demoting him? What happens to reducing his rank? And all that to serve as a deterrent to other persons in this country. If we don't punish people, then we should forget about fighting crime in this country, because crime will still continue. Because there's no punitive nature, there's no punishment for crimes. So people get away with things. So far as you have a brother or somebody you know that is high and mighty, the person can easily put calls through for you to be free when you have actually committed a crime against someone, and when you have also infringed on the rights of another person. This is the kind of country we run currently, and it's really unfortunate, and it's really not funny, and it's something that I think we need to address these particular issues as they are.
Very well said. Now let's talk about some of the issues that pertains to elections and governance. One of the things that that have come up in the past, you're very familiar with Rivers State politics and what happened with the current governor of Rivers State and his predecessor, or what could be referred to as his godfather in politics, who he says they've resolved the issue, but these issues are most likely going to continue, because even in the off-cycle elections we saw a situation where there is a godfather and like a godson. When they were celebrating, you could see someone really appreciating someone who had helped him get into office or win the elections in Kogi State, particularly the situation between Governor Yaya Bello and the governor-elect in that state, Usman Ododo. Do you see a situation where this is going to be a thing of the past, considering the fact that the godfathers and the godsons always fall out, and who, at the end of the day, it is the people that suffer? See what happened in River State. Some people even lost their lives on account of the fracas between, or the face-off between the governor and his godfather. State resources are going to be expended to rebuild the state assembly that was burnt as a result of that face-off. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, honestly speaking, let's be sincere with ourselves in this country. The problem we have in this country is that we have a lot of persons who know the truth, but do not like speaking the truth on some of these issues. Politicians will continue to always be politicians, and every politician will want to remain relevant in his state and wherever he finds himself. And part of being relevant is creating godfatherism, which we have seen happened over the years. But of course, the big question we keep asking is, to what end are these godfatherism being created, and on whose expenses? Do I have a problem with godfatherism? Do I have a problem with people wanting to plant people loyal to them into offices? Truth is that, personally, I really do not have a problem with people wanting to do all that. But where I have a problem is on whose expense? Do you carry out your godfatherism on the expense of the state resources? On the expense of our own collective resources? So you now determine for us how our resources should be shared, and the kind of development we should carry out in our state. It doesn't make any sense, and that is where I have a problem with this, the godfatherism of the thing. And the truth of the matter is that, of course, God is never sustainable in this country. We have always seen a friction between the Godfather and the Godson. It is only a case of Lagos State we have seen that. We saw it fail in Delta. We are also seeing it fail in River State. So, what is the name again? Yaya Bello trying to bring in Adodo, and also, the funny part is that in course of trying to bring these people in, they don't mind how many persons die in the process. They're not interested in who gets injured. They're not interested in what is born. They're not interested in what is destroyed. All they are interested in is, let me have my person there. They're not even interested in the growth and development of the state. It is not born out of love for the state. It is born out of selfish desire and all that. So, for me, I would say that it's an unfortunate trend. It's an unfortunate trend. Now we have seen Yaya do what he has done, and whatever he has actually done with the INEC to bring in, I don't know, what is now that is the correct situation in a Kogi state. But the question is this: how sustainable is this? How sustainable is this? Yaya is a failed governor, a governor who failed for 8 years and underperformed as a governor, and struggle to bring in somebody in a stool he can control. The same thing we find in River State also, where Wike also failed as a governor in the state. And I said that anywhere.
No. This are arguable because you have people who believe that these governors did well for their states. I mean, they say the testament of Yaya Bello's good works in Kogi State is what was reflected in the elections, where his preferred candidate was elected by the people, the same people who people say that they're not doing well, who are not happy.
Go guys did not elect Ododo.
How do you defend that? How do you defend it? You're a lawyer.
The elections were practically rigged. We saw the elections rigged in collusion with the INEC. The elections were practically rigged in collusion with. And of course, you listen to the interview of Dino Melaye as well as the interview of the Labour Party candidate. SDP candidate. It's quite obvious. It's quite obvious. The elections are rigged. The elections, there's no free and fair election in this country. Nigeria, as presently constituted, does not conduct free, fair, and credible elections. It is whoever the highest figure or the most violent wins the elections. That is what we find in the country. So what has happened in Kogi is a testament to what I am saying. It's a complete and a total testament to what I'm saying. That the elections were purely and clearly rigged. It is not as a result of the good works of Yaya Bello. Yaya Bello is one of the worst governors we have had in this dispensation of governors. One of the worst governors. And to even think that he's actually a young man who was actually celebrated that at least a young person is now a governor of a particular state, but it turned out to be actually a very bad governor. Who didn't perform?
I'm so sure that a lot of people from Kogi State will disagree with you when you say that the governor is a failed governor, because I've had people who
statistics are obvious, and if you get to Kogi, go to Kogi and let us count what the Yaya has done in its 8 years, and these the amount of revenue, international generated revenue, and the federal government allocation they received. Let's look at it, things from there. Even when we talk about Wike and his failures in River State, I tell people, Abuja people were celebrating. When Wike was governor of River State, a lot of persons in Abuja were saying that, Wike is performing, Wike is doing this, Wike is doing that. And I kept on asking them, see, I'm a Rivers man. And as a Rivers man, I have seen good governance. Rivers people understand what it is to have good governance. Right from the time of Alfred Speak, who was the military administrator at the time, down to Melford Okilo, down to Chief Rufus George, down to Peter Odili, to Rotimi Chibika Amechi, Celeste Omeya and Rotimi Chibika Amechi, then Wike himself. Let me tell you, among these persons that I have mentioned, Wike is the most underperforming governor in the state. We have never had it that we have never had it as bad as we had Wike as governor. My joy is that Wike is now Minister of the FCT. That magic wand people said he used in performing in Rivers, let him replicate the same thing in Abuja. Let him replicate the same thing in Abuja. So the Abuja people were already crying. And
what are the indices? What are the indices that you use to measure a failed or a successful government, if I may ask?
you must consider is this: if a leader comes in and underperforms below par of what his predecessor had done, that leader is a failed leader, because you're supposed to build on it, and even do, if you can't even, if can't more than what the person has done, you should be able to sustain, at least sustain what the works of the particular person. That is number one. Secondly, you should be able to address the needs of the people, the exact needs of the people, not frivolities. And you ask the average man on the street that if his problem is flyover, that weekend is building flyover, where ordinarily there are not supposed to be flyovers. Some of the flyovers that he built, cars do not make use of them. Like this local flyover in Port Harcourt, cars do not make use of them. In a whole day, you would not have up to 100 cars pass through the flyover. In a whole day, you won't have up to 100 cars pass through the flyover. And you ask me, that is a flyover you will tell me you used about how many billion to build. So when we talk about this, then you go to River State. River State is the home of unemployment. People are moving in droves out of River State into Abuja, into Lagos, and those who could actually travel abroad also travel. People are living in droves because there are no jobs in Port Harcourt. There are no jobs in Port Harcourt. There is hunger in the land. People are running away. Because why? We can impoverish the state and keep the state the way it is today.
Do you say this? Do you say this as a member? Do you say this as a member of the opposition or someone who is genuinely concerned about?
I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in their politics. I'm not a politician. I'm not interested in their politics. I am a lawyer. I'm a human rights activist, and also I'm a Pan-Africanist. So I'm not one of these involved. But we look at these things and we look at what has happened. We look at what has happened in the states and all that. We're not interested in all these things they are doing. They can do their politics and make mess of themselves and all that, but their politics will not stop us from saying the truth and saying the truth, just as it is. It will not stop us. We will always say the truth, and we will always say the truth. It's really unfortunate. We expect River State to become, River State nationally should be competing with states like Lagos State. But today, River State is not competing with Lagos State. Because somebody took River State 10 years backward, and now he forced, now let me tell you how bad it is. He forced the present governor on the Rivers people. You also saw what happened during the elections. The violence in the state during the election forced the governor down our throats. We now accepted the governor. Okay, since you are forcing down our throats, no problem, let him be our governor. But because at some point he felt he wants to control everything, he wants to determine everything that happens, he wants to stay in Abuja and determine what happens in Port Harcourt also, he fell out to the governor. And this also goes to tell you is the testament and the character and personality of Wike. He fights with everybody available to fight. If there are no problems, he tries to create out one. He brought Momodu Sharif as PDP chairman, fought him out. Brought Uche Secondus, fought with Uche Secondus. Brought Ayu, fought Ayu. Now he has brought this one as governor. Don't let us also not forget, even the Edo State governor, Obaseki, supported him to get a re-election. Today he's also fighting with the same man. What kind of a person is this? That is the unfortunate thing we're saying.
Let's stick to the issues so it doesn't look like a personal attack on the FCT minister or even any of the those governors. But let's talk about the fact that Nigerians today we record a high level of inflation in the country, 27.33%. And there's a new government that has been about 6 months in power. Subsidy has been removed and all of that. Nigerians expected a better standard of living, but it seems like that standard of living is a mirage. It's something that they cannot readily experience. What do you think that a government should be doing at this time? The president and the federal government are saying they're seeking investors, trying to get investors into the country to invest. But before these investments come, how would Nigerians survive? Is a question on the minds of many Nigerians.
You see, when it comes to Nigeria's federal government, let's be honest. When it comes to Nigeria's federal government, Nigeria's federal government has continually lied to Nigerians. That is why they have lost the trust of Nigerians. They have continually lied to Nigerians on issues of development, on issues of the economy, and on issues of the progress of the nation. And you see that they make promises and make bogus claims, but what we see on the ground, the reality is different from the claims they actually make. I give you an example. In this same country, we found the situation we had in the last administration, the Buhari administration, that told us that in 2 years' time or thereabout, they were going to fix the refineries, the Port Harcourt refineries and the Warri refinery. And we saw them devoted how many billions of naira into it. What is happening to that? The Tinubu's government has come to say, oh, we are going to Saudi Arabia to meet Arabco to come and help us to revamp our refineries. What happened to the billions that was voted in for that particular, for being the Buhari administration? Who is asking questions as to how the billions were used? Nobody is questioning it. And now you're telling us this, which we see is all a sham. It doesn't make any sense. So we do not trust the government of the day. We don't trust the government. It was the same way they went to Saudi Arabia and they went to Dubai and they said that Dubai has lifted the bans on Nigerians, the visa ban on Nigerians. But that don't become the reality. So let me tell you, with all the things and programs they have backed and all that, Nigerians are no longer interested in it. What Nigerians are interested in is get the work done. We know fixing a country is not something that is done with a magic wand. Especially a country that has degenerated like ours, that has degenerated, that has retrogressed badly like ours. You can't use a magic wand to fix it. It's not something easily done. But the people want to see practical steps, no matter how small it is. Which we are not seeing in any sector. Which we are not seeing. A lot of persons have high hopes on the current administration. But of course, when you look at what the direction the current administration is doing, let me tell you, any development, that's one of the problems I have with this thing they call statistics. People turn out statistics and say this has happened, this improvement, any improvement and any economic growth that does not affect the market woman, that does not reduce the prices of things in market and puts money in the pockets of the market woman, it's good growth, it's not progress. It must be seen. It's not what you see on the stock exchange and you say, we are making progress. Or the statistics that one of these Western organizations bring out and they tell us that, this is it, and we all accept it. And we say, this is what statistics is showing. Meanwhile, the people are hungry. The people are hungry. And the demands of Nigerians are not even much. What the average Nigerian needs is provide good roads, provide electricity for them. The rest of that thing Nigerians provide it for themselves. Even these things you're talking about, Nigerians provide electricity for themselves.
Do you think that this problem has persisted because the Nigerian citizen seems not to be an active citizen? We have a lot of docile people who just accept everything. The former Rivers State governor and the former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, a few weeks ago said Nigerians don't care. Nigerians don't, whatever. Nigerians just endure and take in everything and say, you go better, just give it time. This one too will pass. Is that the reason why all of this has persisted? And as a human rights activist, what do you think that Nigerians need to do to put their government on their toes?
Let me say this. I would tackle this from two directions. One, from blaming Nigerians, and secondly, from also exonerating them, looking at our history. Let me tell you, as a Pan-Africanist, and when you look at the independence struggle of African nations, you will discover that Nigeria is one of the African countries that never struggled to get independence. Yes, Nigeria never struggled to get independence. We got independence on the platter of gold, more like on the platter of gold. Unlike countries like Kenya, countries like South Africa, countries like DRU Congo, and the rest of them who actually went through real struggles, Mozambique, who went through real struggles to gain independence. And this has also affected how we have dealt with issues too. Now, because we are not used to struggling, we're used to getting things and adapting to the new situation we find ourselves. So when they bring up a policy, we complain for the first 1 week, then we adapt to it. Nigerians will not hit the streets. Nigeria is the only country where you see people are scared to live their lives to salvage the country for the betterment of the future of the people. So people are even scared of speaking, talk more of coming out to demand for justice. So that is our nature. So it didn't start today. It's something something we inherited and it has been with us continually. It's an unfortunate situation. That is why everything that comes to us, we easily adapt to it. But let me tell you, look at countries like Kenya, look at countries like South Africa. Once the government comes up with a policy that is against the stance of the people, that is against the generosity of the people, they don't come out. Because this is how they are naturally wired to carry out struggle. But the Nigerian man is an agitator who is ready to believe that, oh God, one day things will change. One day we'll have a better president. One day. No! Nobody's coming to fix this country. Nobody's coming to save Nigeria. Nigerians have to stand up. Nigerians have to stand up and make demands. Unfortunately, the people they use against the masses, the police, the army, and the rest of them they use against the masses are also going through the same things as the masses. Are also going through the same things. Let me tell you, the percentage of Nigerians who are enjoying in this particular economy are not up to 3% of Nigerians who are enjoying in this economy. Are not up to 3% or at most 3%. So, and every Nigerian you see is grumbling, is crying, and nobody's doing anything about it. Everybody's cool with it. We have adapted to the new situation. Yes, if they take fuel to 1,000, we accept it. It is the policy the people want. If Nigerians say continue with fuel subsidies, and somebody say no, fuel subsidy is bad for you. We don't want you to continue. We don't want to continue with fuel subsidy. It is not the person who will determine the policy we want as a people. It is Nigerians who say this is what we want and it is good for us. It is good for us. Allow it. If they are selling it, the only thing the government has done for Nigerians. But the average thing they are taking the Yoruba problem, this is an Igbo problem, this is an Hausa problem, and we buy into it. We key into it. What we also understand is that hunger does not know a Yoruba man. Hunger does not know an Igbo man. Hunger does not know an Hausa man. He bites everybody accordingly. Hunger does not also know a Christian or a Muslim. Nigerians are not ready. So one of my friends will say, Nigerians are not angry enough. We're not angry enough. We're not yet angry. We're enjoying the situation. We've not gotten to the point where we will get angry and we'll pick up a system to change to change the country. Because nobody's holding anybody accountable. Let me tell you, the mindset of the average Nigerian, is that one day I will have a friend, or I will have somebody in government, and my life will change. For the day, they now get to benefit from corruption.
And that's quite sad, isn't it?
There's no need of protesting. There's no need of even shouting. There's no need of calling the government to order. Let us just wait until whenever God provides that opportunity, we'll go to collect our own share of the national cake. But the question is this, for how long? And how many of us will live to be alive to the time that we will now get into government and start stealing from government? Because what everybody does now is look for ways, steal from the system. Steal from the system.
And that's really, again, unfortunate. But then let's bring in our callers. Today is Have You Say Thursday. We seem to be taking some of the time allotted for calls, but we'll take as much as we can so that we can, balance up the situation. My guest has been Mr. Terry Malowala, who is a legal practitioner. He is joining us in this conversation. He's also a human rights activist and Pan-Africanist as well. I'm going to start off with this message already. Let's bring in a caller first before we get to the messages. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Senator.
Good morning, BB Blessing. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank God for our guest. He has finished everything where we want to say. God will bless you now. God will bless him. God will bless you too. My name is BB Blessing. If you know reach your turn, you know how it is. We said the other for my one, he go better, but he go 8 years. We don't see anything. We no talk. Money where that one they cover up to today. We don't know what they use for us. This one come now. He always tell us say he go start where the other one stop. We don't need to even talk too much. But what it be the action? They say no, we be patient. There where they are telling Nigeria to be patient, there they not be patient. They are today they are not Abuja here. They are flying up and down. They say make come on be patient. Do you know when you have money, even though they say particular things, house is 20 million or 100 million, you able to buy it for Abuja more they say the red house. Can poor man, can common man where they eat, where they bed before eat, can he stay for that house?
All right, baby.
Now, yes, we can come out to now. You go view us, you go collect avenue, anything where it is. What did they use the money they do for these people? Now I want to know, please.
Thank you very
God
much.
bless you. Let
Putting
me answer
forward
my customer.
those ones. Thank you very much. Back to more calls 09073530044 and 09087668888. Send SMS and WhatsApp messages to 09097054450. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm calling from Chile.
Welcome.
In fact, Ian, I listened to the man you brought to the studio. Yes, it's hard time you bring somebody unbiased to the studio. The way he analyzed issue, he sits at Abuja here. I don't say. Where the people call Anek. I don't know this kind of a man.
What is your response to the issues?
My response to him is that he has not taken a head to be a party agent during the time of election. I'm sure he has not voted for in any polling booth. If you go there, you will appreciate INEC for what they are doing. You will know that it's not easy. Before any vote is big, during the counting of votes, all the party agents will be there and they countersign whatever is the result of the vote. I don't know where they analyze it from. That this man did not perform when he was there. Imagine him talking about his own governor, Wike, that he has not performed in Rivers State. As from Imo State, we know him as action governor, and a man who performed more than any governor that ever ruled Rivers State. So people should be realistic.
The responsible thing to do is to come on a national platform and inform people with such audacity and confidence. It's become a problem when people that are supposed to educate, the general public as to what is obtainable going by the law, are the ones that even we that do not study law will have to educate. I'm speaking in regard to the election in my state in Kogi, and I still make both to say, I hope our guest can say, the election in Kogi is the freest and the most credible election in our history. And then when he talks about the INEC declaring a winner, even while collation, as a lawyer, I'm not a lawyer, but the criteria upon which, according to the electoral law, before a winner can be declared, is when that winner gets the majority, 2/3 of the votes and the popular vote. And then he talks about area of the electoral results sheet being prepared and then annexed to declaring results. Look, I was very clear on this, and it pains me to my bones. And I've been emphasizing, I said there's difference between opinion and misinformation. And I said it, please, can you, for the avoidance of doubt, educate? I gave the breakdown that the entire, the 9 out of 10 polling units in Ogorimagongo, the total registered voters there is 15,135. The eventual winner, the margin between Ododo and Ajaka is over 200,000. Our guest is a lawyer. So even if the election is conducted, even if that 15,000 is added to Ajaka's vote, it cannot make him the governor. It is actually unfortunate.
All right, Alamin.
Now should be weeping. The flag at the Nigerian Bar Association should be flying at half.
Thank you very much, Alamin. I'll have to let you go there. Let's bring in this one other caller before we get back with my guest. Hello, good morning.
Thank you, Prince, my Prince.
Good morning.
Good morning. Once more, thank you. It's Obasanjo from Amali.
Obasanjo, let's hear you.
Thank you. And our guest has said it all. I'm telling you, like Fela said it, I want to build house, I want marry, I want to go school. You don't want that. Why? Because you don't want to suffer because of your country. One individual who takes all the benefits of all plenty people in Nigeria, neither an Hausa man, an Igbo man, an Yoruba man, Joe man. We all are afraid. We all are afraid of coming out and say, this government cannot see. It's only poor man who tell the government, this is what we want. Like you media, all these problems, you people will now send it to the National Assembly. This is what the Marxists has been saying to Why? Because there's no big man that do call. It's we that have nothing to offer that we do call, complaining day in, day out. It's for you as a media to transfer this message to the National Assembly. National Assembly, this is what the masses have been talking about to settle refuses. Why? Because you are a Yoruba man, you are an Igbo man. Igbo man, if Igbo man come out as a president, not as a Nigerian leader, no, as a president, we want Igbo men to go. If an Hausa man come, we want only Hausa, you see, the Hausa man, we say, religion follow. Why? They are taking the country. They have been taking advantage of the poor, what they can build road for us, build electricity for us, school, to build universities, go, government university, you will see students writing on the floor, equally on the floor, in university, in a country that we have independence. Like our guest said, we don't fight for this independence. We only come and we only get it. Free hands. That is why they are treating us bad. See, sir, I wanted to tell you. Yeah, what I want to tell you is that, sir, man, over there, we should try to avoid, it's my person, I want to support that person. No, support that person as your country, for your people to live happily in the whole over, whether it's Hausa or Igbo or a Christian or a Muslim, even a pagan.
All right.
Country. God does not know all those things. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Getting back with my guest, so before that, ABK from Kuboy says, "Good morning, Henacha. I want to believe your guest is affiliated with, okay, no tribe, no, don't mention any tribe or any of those things, please. Let's not get like that. I also strongly believe that he is from the opposition party." Well, he says, he's not a politician. It's just a human rights advocate and activist. We are indigenes of Kogi State, and we voted for Usman Ododo en masse. I think your guest never expected such high number from Kogi Central. Neither did he anticipate that Kogi West would vote for Ododo. He's from River State. He knows his knowledge may be limited to Rivers. Okay, ABK, thank you very much. Mr. Wala, you say it seems like the Kogi people seem to disagree with you on the elections. They seem to have a consensus that they voted for Ododo en masse. Now, but then let's get back to some of the other issues that are burning. Just last week or so, 2 weeks ago, it was reported that France is going to repatriates about $150 million Abacha loot. And some people have said, look, this Abacha loot thing is becoming suspicious. How much could one person have stolen within a space of 5 years? And the whole conversation of corruption and how deeply embedded, or deeply rooted corruption is in our nation sparks up the question as to whether or not I know you made an argument for it earlier, whether or not corruption can be fought in Nigeria today.
The point is this. I've listened to the callers from, first of all, let me address the issue of the Kogi people. I've listened to callers from Kogi and all that. And when we make assertions and all that, we don't just wake up in the morning and start talking because we want to talk and all that. I was an observer in the last general elections in Kogi State. And when I talk, I'm talking from a place of personal experience. I'm not talking from a place of hearsay and all that. And let me say this too. I have observed the elections both in this country and outside the country for several years and all that. And when we listen to people make assertions and try to make rubbish of what the position we are giving, saying we are misinforming the public and all that. If you have a superior knowledge, you share your superior knowledge. It's not enough to just say we are misinforming the public. Be able to share your superior knowledge, and when your superior knowledge comes up, and we look at the superior knowledge that you're actually making sense, we'll bring down our own knowledge and actually accept your take based on the facts. You have us on ground to observe the elections, and I actually tell what I'm speaking. I'm speaking for a fact from my own personal position. and personal experience and all that in Kogi State, which is really unfortunate. And of course, INEC never at any point in time did not say they are not aware of the issue of recorded results sheet. We saw these things happen. And INEC has not also addressed that issue up till now. We have raised up those concerns, we have raised up those issues. And until INEC has not addressed them. So when we say elections in Kogi State were not free, fair, and credible, we know what we are talking about. And we are talking from the standpoint of first-hand experience, not the standpoint of hearsay. And that is the position what I want to make clear on. I know that the fact that I'm not from Kogi does not mean that I am not aware or I didn't see things happen in Kogi State before I am making my assertions and all that. But that being said, when it comes to this issue of Abacha, I was saying that when I heard about the France trying to return about $450 million and all that, I became very suspicious of this whole Abacha. There is more to it, which the federal government is not telling us. First of all, the first big question I asked, the Abacha loots we have recovered thus far, what did we do with it? Was the loot relooted? What did we do with this loot? It is now making the whole idea of Abacha loot suspicious. That there is more to it. It is either somebody is trying to make Abacha look bad, or there is something else that we are not really understanding and all that. But questions should be asked, because we cannot continually, every 2 months or every 3 months, they tell us they are repatriating Abacha loot and all that. Did Abacha empty Nigeria's treasury that we are unable to recover the loot completely up till now? So this whole thing is becoming worrisome. It's becoming worrisome for us, in as much as I agree with the fact that most times when you have people elected into public offices, they see it as an opportunity to enrich themselves. And they actually do enrich themselves, which is really an unfortunate situation, and which is just like the earlier assertion I have given, that every Nigerian is looking for an opportunity to get into public office and to steal from the public. So at the end of the day, if a man goes into public office, serves for 4 years or serves for 5 years, and comes out without having a car or without building a house, the people call him that, hey, this one is a fool, he doesn't have sense, you should have stolen. How can you be governor? How can you be this? And now you have left your office, you don't actually have anything to write home about. But that is not it. Public offices should be about who are things in government, people who are willing to make the people right. And we also have a citizenry that is also working for their time to come. So I keep on saying that, you see, the issue of corruption. The issue of corruption goes down to the people in primary school and our secondary schools. Because that generation is also learning corruption. So there seems to be no hope for Nigeria as it is today when it comes to the fight against corruption, because we have to nip this thing on the board. We have to nip it on the board, because corruption is consuming us badly. Consuming us badly, because you can't get anything freely in this country without money or without knowing someone in the system. That doesn't make any sense. Which is why we are saying that if we have to fight corruption, we have to start fighting corruption from the citizenry down to those in leadership. Because the truth of the matter is that the persons elected into offices didn't just fall from the sky. Okay. They came from the citizens. So if the citizens are corrupt, you are definitely going to produce corrupt leaders.
And well, this would be a really good place to leave the conversation. It's quite funny how time flies when you're having, conversations like this. I'm going to just read a few messages here. Joseph Jojo says, I'm with this government does not mean I should be supporting evil. I have stopped listening to your station because of Alamin, and I don't think I will be listening again unless he stops calling the station and he's banned. Okay, I don't know. I think we should be able to tolerate other people's opinions and views contrary to ours. I love Eagles FM, but that particular man is making it boring for me. I was driving to work. I heard him insulting your guest, and I had to park close to National Secretariat to send this message. Kogi election was okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joseph Jojo. And Taking Me Here says, good morning, Prince. I'm worried about the huge money incumbent governors spent to install a successor. Look at Kogi State. Governor who only paid half salary spent billions to install the governor elect. Taking Me Ahundu from Kari local government area there. Okay, we don't have all the facts to that. So we'll just leave it now. I'd say a big thank you. Okay, this one says, no more interest in elections in Nigeria from Oganemanu. Thank you so much, Oganemanu. And I'd love to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Theory. Malo Wala, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. Really, really big privilege to have had this conversation with you this morning. We appreciate it. We do not make light of it. And we hope that you understand that Nigerians would always have varying opinions, and those opinions should be tolerated as well and welcomed as well.